Let's take a look at multiplying mixed numbers. Previously, we have discussed that you can only multiply a fraction times a fraction. So when we have a mixed number, we have got to turn them into a fraction, which of course is going to be an improper fraction. Now, I've taught my students how to use number bonds to help with this. So this first one I'm going to talk through using a number bond, and then I'm going to show you a faster way to do this. I know that 1 whole for this problem could be written as 3/3. So that would be 1 whole. Another 3/3 would be 2 whole, and then I have 1/3 within my entire mixed number. So 3/3 is 1 whole, 3/3 is 1 whole, and 1/3 all added together equals 2 1/3. However, when I put it in fractions like this, I can add these fractions together, 3, 6, 7/3, and that's going to give me an improper fraction that is the same amount as 2 1/3. So we can do number bonds to help us with this. Another way we can think about this is by taking my denominator here and multiplying it by my whole number. I know that 4 times 2 is 8, and then I can add my numerator plus 1 and get 9. That would be my new numerator, and the denominator would stay the same. And if I do my number bonds, I would find 4/4 plus 4/4 plus 1/4 is equal to 9/4. So it works if you understand how to multiply the denominator times the whole number and then add the numerator, and that becomes your new numerator, and then put it all over the same denominator. It will work. If not, feel free to use the number bonds to get your improper fraction. Either way will work. Now that I have my 2 improper fractions, this is going to work just like multiplying fractions has always worked. 7 times 9 is of course 63, and 3 times 4 is 12. Now of course I have an improper fraction, and we know that we can use number bonds if we need to, and we would have 12/12 and 12/12 and 12/12 and 12/12 and 12/12 and 3/12. We would figure that out that way, and it would work. But we also now know that every fraction is a division problem, and when I divide 63 by 12, I'm of course going to get 5, and 5 times 12 is 60. I have 3 left, which is my remainder, and we know that that means my answer is my whole number, my remainder is my numerator, and my divisor is my denominator. So 5 3/12 is my answer so far. But we know we cannot put 5 3/12 as our answer. We have got to simplify. So my final answer is going to be 5, and then I know the factors of 3 are 1 and 3. I also know that 12 is divisible by 3. So I'm going to say 3 divided by 3 is 1. 12 divided by 3 is 4. And so my final answer on this problem is going to be 5 1/4. Let's take a look at the next problem. I'm going to go straight to multiplying this out. For this first one, I'm going to say 5 times 2 plus 1, and that's going to give me 11, and I'm going to keep my denominator. For the second one, I'm going to do 2 times 3 plus 1, and that's going to give me 7, which is going to all go over 2. Now again, if you need to use the number bonds, that's fine. 11 times 7 is 77. 5 times 2 is 10. When I divide 77 by 10, I know I can get 7 groups of 10 out of 77. 7 times 10 is 70. I'm going to subtract, and I have a remainder of 7. So my answer is 7. My numerator is also 7 because that's what my remainder is. And my denominator stays the same. 7 is prime, so I know its only factors are 1 and 7. And I know that 10 is not divisible by 7. So my final answer here is going to be 7 and 7/10. Let's look at another one. I'm going to say 5 times 2 is 10 plus 3 is 13 fifths. 3 times 3 is 9 plus 1 is 10. So I'm going to have 10 thirds. Now, 13 times 10 is 130. 5 times 3 is 15. I'm going to take 130 and I'm going to divide it by 15. I know I'm going to get 8 groups of 15 out of 130. And 8 times 15 is going to be 120. When I subtract, I have 10. So my remainder is 10. Remember, it is okay for my remainder to be 10 because it's lower than my divisor. So my whole number answer is 8. The remainder is my numerator. My denominator stays the same. And of course, looking at that, we know that 10 and 15 are both divisible by 5. You should be able to look at that and tell. But just to make sure, factors of 10 are 1, 2, 5, and 10. I know 15 is not divisible by 10, but I know they are both divisible by 5. So I'm going to write my whole number 8. I'm going to divide 10 by 5, which is 2. 15 divided by 5 is 3. My final answer here is 8 and 2/3. Let's take a look at our last problem. I'm going to multiply 4 times 1 is 4 plus 3 is 7 over 4 times 5 times 2 is 10 plus 2 is 12. That goes all over 5. Now, I know that 7 times 12 is 84, and 4 times 5 is 20. I'm going to divide 84 by 20, and I know I'm going to get 4 groups of 20 out of 84, and 4 groups of 20 are equal to 80. 84 minus 80 is 4. So my remainder is also going to be 4. So my answer here is going to be 4 whole, 4 as my numerator, and 20 as my denominator. But we know this is not simplified. So my factors of 4 are 1, 2, and 4. I know that 20 is divisible by 4 because 4 times 5 is 20. So my whole number is going to be 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 20 divided by 4 is 5. And my final answer here is going to be 4 and 1/5. I hope you find that helpful. There will be more coming soon.